Good evening, I'm Rob Mecco. Thanks for watching WJCL News at 6. People in Pooler are still in shock over the drowning of a young boy on Friday. The child had been swimming at the pool in the Godley Park complex. WJCL's Brandon Lavornia has been talking with concerned neighbors all day long. He joins us live in the studio with more. Brandon, what are they saying?
Well, Rob, they're still in shock, like you mentioned. They use this pool all the time and describe the neighborhood as a very quiet neighborhood. Now, again, Friday, 4-year-old Fraser King was at this pool in Godley Park with his mother. According to Savannah Metro Police, 4-year-old King fell into the pool but did not resurface. He was then taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. A small gathering of toys and a stuffed bear are now placed by the fence of the pool. Neighbors say what happened Friday is an absolute tragedy, but now they are concerned that Pooler is growing too fast and there are not enough emergency services in place to keep the population safe.
After a situation like this that happens in your backyard, yeah, it brings it to light. Pooler's grown tremendously since we moved here, and it makes me wonder if there's enough, and absolutely makes me think that we need more.
I hope that at some point this is a wake-up call, and a wake-up call to not our local responders, because they're obviously doing the best they can.
Now, according to city leaders, in 2013, the population had more than tripled over the last decade. And since 2008, emergency calls have increased nearly 40%. Now, there's some tips when you are making an emergency call that will help speed up the process. According to the FCC, be as accurate as possible when you're giving your location. Provide your cell phone number in case you get disconnected. And Rob, it really comes down to just being, calm in such a chaotic moment. And, neighbors are also concerned that there could have been something done differently, and we're looking into that to see if response could have been quicker or if a resource needs to be in place.
All right, Brandon, thanks. Very sad story. Thank you. Well, a Savannah man died this morning when his small boat overturned in the Wausau Sound. Emergency crews responded around 9:45 near Williamson Island, that's southwest of Tybee Island. Metro Police say a man in his early 50s was declared dead when the Coast Guard reached him. His wife was taken to Memorial Hospital to be treated for undetermined injuries. Their names haven't been released yet. Metro's Marine and Aviation Patrols and Southside Fire also responded. The Georgia Department of Natural Resources is investigating. A 4th of July shooting in Port Wentworth has left one man in critical condition. Officers responded to the CNS Mobile Home Park on Highway 21 just before 9:30 on Friday night. A man had been shot and was lying on the floor. Police say the victim was conscious and told them who shot him. He was taken to Memorial University Medical Center in critical condition. Officers are looking for Marcelo Ramirez, believed to be between 25 and 30 years old. He left driving a green GMC extended cab pickup truck.
From what we're gathering, they were roommates. We believe it's just an argument gone terribly wrong. We don't know what happened exactly other than one person shot the other, and we're trying to get to the bottom of it.
The Georgia Bureau of Investigation is helping out with the case. The American Red Cross is helping the victims of 2 fires Saturday in Effingham County. 2 adults and 2 kids were displaced after an early morning fire on Kitty Drive in Guyton. The Red Cross gave the family money for food, clothes, and shelter. While responding to that fire, volunteers were called to another home on Middleton Road in Guyton. One person lives there but wasn't home at the time. The Red Cross is providing money for food and clothing.
I seen some lights out the window and just went on back to bed. About 10 o'clock when I came out, the house, it looked like it does now. I haven't seen anybody. I've been home pretty much the last couple of days. I ain't seen nobody in and out this way or nothing.
And Red Cross volunteers also responded to a fire in Vidalia on Thursday. They provided 2 adults and 1 child with money for food, clothes, transportation, and shelter. Meteorologist Samara Theodore is here now. A little bit of rain today.
A lot of rain in some areas.
In some areas?
Yeah.
Where I was, it was a little bit. But, it kind of was a lot, but then it was gone.
Yeah, and they're moving pretty quickly. That's the good thing about these summer storms, but they do come with a lot of lightning. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and show that live radar right now. And this is the area I want to zoom into. This is Toombs County. This storm popped up about an hour ago, and right now we're seeing it make its way just north of Toombs Central. It's heading out of the Toombs County border there, but again, there's a lot of lightning associated with the system, so I would go ahead and maybe just keep it inside for a little bit for the coming hours. Now, here's a look at much much of the southeast. And what I want to point out is this area here to the south of us in Florida. They're seeing a lot of thunderstorms and lightning down there, and they have been as well for the past couple of days. Things will get progressively better, though, as we head into the overnight hours. But let's take a look at our current temperatures. So it feels like 89 degrees in Savannah right now. If you factor in that humidity in Hilton Head, you're looking at 82 degrees. It feels like 97 up in Metter, so I'm sure they really want the rain up there. Pretty hot, and it feels like the upper 80s down in Darien and Midway. Tonight, expect temperatures to drop to 72 degrees overnight. Because of that rain, things will begin to cool down drastically. We are expecting a stray shower to continue, but again, some gradual clearing. Now, you're going to want to stay tuned because in our Storm Tracker weather headlines, we're going to take a look at the tropics, which is relatively quiet now that Hurricane Arthur has moved up and out of here. But we've got some midweek heat that will be returning. That's it for now. Back to you, Rob.
Thank you, Samara. Georgia Governor Nathan Deal will be in Sylvania tomorrow for a big groundbreaking. SV Pitti Textiles is bringing 250 jobs and an estimated $70 million in investment to Screven County. The company is building a new facility in the county's industrial park. The groundbreaking is set to begin at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Tybee Island police say the Independence Day celebrations were very busy for them. Police say that holiday weekends are usually busier for them. On Thursday, the island celebrated Independence Day with fireworks. However, police were busy booking criminal offenders. Dozens of citations were handed out, but 12 people were arrested and charged with misdemeanors. On Friday, at least 4 more people were arrested. That forced Tybee police to bus offenders to the Chatham County Jail throughout the night. Richmond Hill celebrated Independence Day last night with a fireworks display and a full slate of activities. The annual July 5th celebration draws hundreds of people every year. It's meant to provide safe and fun activities for families. There were inflatable bounce houses for kids, face painting, and games. 48 vendors were also on hand selling food and other items.
It's just to show back to our citizens and to our military families and also to our police force and fire department and things. We appreciate them. And if it wasn't for all those guys out there doing their work, we wouldn't have our freedom. So this is a way to thank them.
Organizers hope to expand the number of rides and vendors in hopes of drawing more people next July 5th. Well, after more than 60 surgeries, a local teenage cancer survivor is heading to Boston for what she hopes is one of her final surgeries. She suffers from esophagus problems. Her mom is now raising money to help get her to Boston. WJCL's Chelsea McDonald has the story.
Singing, playing instruments, and drawing are some of Alexandria Long's favorite things. It helps distract her.
It's been hard. The pain is what gets me the most. And it's when I pick up the drawing or the music or, anything interesting, and I focus on that and I don't focus on the pain.
At just 3 years old, Long was diagnosed with cancer in her esophagus. In 2009, she was cancer-free, but 2 years ago, she suffered from a severe hiatal hernia. Now, every week, Long gets surgery on her esophagus.
All the surgeries since the 17th surgery to present are rushing her into the operating room and dilating back open her esophagus because it gets to the point where it's completely closed and she can't even swallow her own saliva.
So her mom, Deborah Trimble, is raising money to take her daughter to Boston. A children's hospital there says they have a surgery that can help save her life.
She's my hero. And I know that she's the one going through this and she's the one that's sick, but she's the one that keeps me going, to keep her going.
Their motto is to never, ever give up, and Long's music helps keep her going. Chelsea McDonald, WJCL News, working for you.
Coming up on WJCL News at 6, it's been 20 years since the movie Forrest Gump was released. WJCL's Nick Notario looks back at how it put Savannah in the Hollywood spotlight. And later on, we'll have an update for you on a 7-year-old Pooler boy who desperately needs a new kidney.